Do you love improv? Because I do. I'm Trent Dozier, host of I Love Improv with Trent Dozier. Join me live on twitch.tv/The Trident Network every second and fourth Wednesday, where I'm joined by a new guest each episode to talk about and do some improv. Can't catch it live? No worries. Each episode gets turned into a podcast for your listening pleasure. Podcast episodes are released the Wednesday following the live show. So watch live or listen later. But either way, if you love improv, make sure to check out I Love Improv with Trent Dozier, a part of the Trident Network.
Now, about your proposal to send a dozen Halloweentown students to high school in the human world, I say that if the portal's open, we might as well use it, right?
Council President Dalloway, I really must put several of my feet down. You and this council are determined to leave us defenseless. The idea of sending children into the human world.
They'll have me and my mother and my grandmother. They'll have the entire Cromwell clan protecting them.
I doubt that even you are a match for the knights.
Knights? You mean like round table, shields, lances, metal suits knights?
Yes, the Knights of the Iron Dagger.
Their mission in life was to destroy all things magical.
Okay, you people really have to get out a little more. See, this is why we need this program, to show you that the world is different now. I mean, people have changed. People are more tolerant now.
I find that highly unlikely.
In fact, I'd bet all the Cromwell magic that humans have changed. We can all live in harmony. We can all coexist.
She said it. You all heard it. She said it.
Marnie, if you feel that strongly to bet the Cromwell magic, then we have no choice but to accept your proposal. You have until midnight on Halloween. Hey, Val.
Hey, Al. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Val and Al.
Welcome to Deep Commentaries.
Thank you. Welcome to you. Welcome to our listeners. And welcome to our special guest, Sam. Sam, hi.
Yay, Sam.
Hi. I'm so excited to be here. Yeah, I'm a Disney adult, and I feel like by proxy, a DCOM adult. So this feels really great to be here. Very special.
It feels right.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Especially for this, our 50th episode.
Oh, Val, I wanted to do a whole thing.
Oh, no. Okay. Pretend I didn't say anything. Say anything.
Okay, Val, before we get started with the business.
You didn't tell me what you wanted to introduce.
No, that's why I wanted to cut you off. Okay, well, Sam, we're so happy to have you here on our 50th episode of D Commentaries.
Woo!
Wow.
Thank you so much for being here with us. We are excited to celebrate with you and make this the best episode ever.
Yeah.
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 And it's a good one to have as our 50th.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's Halloweentown High.
A pivotal movie in the DCOM universe.
Mm-hmm. And I believe Kimberly J. Brown's final DCOM.
I believe.
Oh my God. Wow.
End of an era.
End of an era.
Mhm.
Truly.
But it's a good thing that she has a TikTok career now.
It's amazing that she has a TikTok career and that she married her Calabar's Revenge co-star.
She did. Didn't they aren't they engaged?
Maybe they're engaged, but they're definitely more than just dating now.
Okay, Val. Well, we celebrated being 50 years old, so we can continue.
We are 50 years old. We are firmly in our middle age, and we're loving it. And here we go into the business. Halloweentown High came out October 8th, 2004. It came out in October.
Mm-hmm.
It was directed by Mark A.Z. DePay, who also directed Pixel Perfect, which we did accidentally out of order, but would have been in January of this same year. So he directed two films about 10 months apart from each other. So, yeah.
He was making money.
He was. He hasn't done a whole lot. He had a lot of VFX credits more than like directing credits, which kind of makes sense for both Pixel Perfect and this movie. There's a lot of VFX in both. So, yeah, makes sense that they'd tap him for this one.
I also did note that I felt like the special effects were more prominent and like better in this one than the other Halloweentown movies. So he really knows his craft.
Yeah, he does.
He learned a lot in 10 months because Pixel Perfect struggled. Sorry to this man.
Although mostly the issues were the audio syncing.
Yeah, that's true.
He made a whole scene in Pixel Perfect that looked like Janet's Void. It was actually pretty impressive. So
he didn't direct the other Halloweentown movies?
No.
Wow.
The other Halloweentown movies, I know, hold on, let me. Halloweentown 2 was directed by Mary Lambert. And Halloweentown 1 was directed by Dwayne Dunham.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. And he just directed Tiger Cruise, the one right before this.
So he was busy. He was too busy to do Halloweentown High.
He was on an aircraft carrier. He had more pressing things to do. Also, they needed someone who could do VFX better than the green screen.
Yeah.
In Tiger Cruise. That was like the worst green screen I've ever seen.
Speaking of Bill Pullman, Val, I just watched Sleepless in Seattle, and Bill Pullman is in it.
Oh, I forgot that he is in that. I have not seen that movie in a long time.
And we were talking about While You Were Sleeping recently with Bill Pullman, and the reason why I watched While You Were Sleeping is Sam.
Yes, one of my all-time favorite rom-coms and Christmas movies and Chicago movies.
Yes.
So good.
Sam is such a good influence on us. Thank you, Sam.
Wow. Sam's our personal influencer.
You're our personal influencer.
I love that. micro influencer.
Okay, we got a 2-person writing team. Paul Birnbaum, who was affiliated with all of the Halloween towns, and then Dan Berenson, who has written a plethora of DCOMs. Up, Up, and Away, Scream Team, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, Stuck in the Suburbs, Twitches 2, Cheetah Girls 1 World, the Hannah Montana movie, the Wizards of Waverly Place movie, and Camp Rock 2, along with a number of episodes of Sabrina, the Teenage Witch.
Interesting. Is the Hannah Montana movie a DCOM? I thought that premiered in theaters too.
Maybe it did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's good. We need to watch it.
We'll watch it. We've got our list of like DCOMs that aren't DCOMs that we're going to do as Patreon episodes, right?
Yeah.
Great. Perfect. Okay. The cast is as follows. Kimberly J. Brown reprised her role as Marnie Piper. So obviously you'll recognize her from Halloweentown, Halloweentown 2, as well as Quince. And more recently, she's done a number of different soaps. Then we have Debbie Reynolds as Aggie Cromwell, baby. You might recognize Debbie from Singing in the Rain, The Unsinkable Molly Brown, The Debbie Reynolds Show. She also was a voice on Rugrats.
Oh, I forget that one.
And she played Grace's mom on Will and Grace.
I forget that one too.
She was amazing.
She was.
Love her. Judith Hoag reprised her role as Gwen Piper, Marnie's mom. She was April in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She was in the movie Armageddon. She was on the show Big Love, Nashville, and The Magicians. So she was on Nashville with last week's star, Hayden Panettiere.
Fun!
Joey Zimmerman reprised his role as Dylan Piper.
Sure did.
Yep. And he's stopped acting.
And he looked like a professor in this movie, and he was like
full-grown adult.
Yeah.
He looked like their dad.
And his arc went nowhere. Like every movie, he's the same.
I have so many thoughts about his part in this movie.
No character development.
Yep.
And then we have Emily Roeske. I should have looked up how to say her last name. I apologize, Emily, if you ever hear this. She reprised her role as Sophie Piper, and she also stopped acting. This was actually her last role.
Wow. She said, I'm done. Wow. I think she's on TikTok too.
Yes, she definitely is.
Nice. Very cool. Congrats, Emily, on your TikTok fame.
Emily, Val can't say your last name.
Sorry, Emily. She had even less to do than her brother Dylan.
Yeah, she was not in any of this after having the decent parts in the first and second one.
I know. She was like a huge part of the first one.
Yeah.
Like huge. And she was great. I don't know. It was weird. Finn Wittrock played Cody Traynor, Marnie's love interest.
Mm-hmm.
Finn has been in a lot of stuff. Some of them are Unbroken, My All-American, The Big Short, La La Land, Landline, American Crime Story, If Beale Street Could Talk, Judy, American Horror Story, and most recently Ratched. So he's a Ryan Murphy guy.
Yeah, and he is very handsome. And if you look him up, you will recognize him. And I want everyone who is here right now in this Zoom call, he is 38.
Really?
And he looks incredible.
He does. He's ageless.
He also looks really tall, but he's actually 5'9", it says on the internet.
I believe that.
I think KJB is pretty short.
Yeah, she's petite.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he definitely looked tall.
He looks tall.
For sure.
He
He
does.
does.
As hell. He is adorable. I don't love all the writing that they did for him, but he did what he could with what he was given.
Yeah.
Then we've got Clifton Davis as Principal Phil Flanagan. He was in Any Given Sunday, Max Keeble's Big Move.
Oh,
More recently, he was on Madam Secretary and Godfather of Harlem.
cool. Good for him.
Yeah. Lucas Grabeel played Ethan Dalloway. This was actually Lucas's first role ever.
Sam shaking her head. She's like, yeah, I knew that.
No, I'm just like, what a debut. What a debut.
He will reprise his role, I assume, in Return to Halloweentown. And he was also obviously in all 3 High School Musicals, which is probably what he's best known for. He was also in the movie Milk. He was on the show Switched at Birth. He's been on episodes of Family Guy, and most recently he was in High School Musical, the musical, the series.
Oh, he was.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that. That's a good show. Honestly, recommend.
Yeah. You have talked about that show every time it's come, like every time something is peripheral to it. You're always like,
and
that
I
show,
recommend it,
it's good.
Sam, do you watch it?
I do not watch it.
You would
but that's
love
what,
it. You
like
should.
Olivia Rodrigo is from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Heard great things from
It's-
people other than you also.
Thank you.
Not just you.
Okay. Shout
The
out to
community is
all of the other
buzzing
people
about it.
influenced by Sam.
Okay, then we have Eliana Reyes, who played Cassie. She had 2 other credits, and she stopped acting in 2006.
Mm.
So not a whole lot going on. Michael Flynn played Edgar Dalloway, the council president and Lucas Grabeel's dad. He was in the movie Halloween 4, which I thought was interesting. He was also on episodes of Everwood, and he was in 1 episode of High School Musical, the musical, the series.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it.
I heard that's really good.
Val, you better keep that in.
Sam, thank you so much for bringing this show to my attention. I've never heard about it.
You little turds.
He's another one I think that was Utah based, because whenever there's Everwood on their resume, they're always in the Ute.
The Ute.
Then we've got Olacia Rulin back again.
Mm-hmm.
She played Natalie, the pink troll, who looked so much like the troll from Trolls. I was so distracted every time she was transformed into a troll. I was shocked. I swear Trolls stole the appearance of the main character.
Yes, she looked exactly like Princess Poppy.
Right?
Yep.
I couldn't believe it.
Which Trolls is not a bad movie either. I'm going to say that.
I've heard great things about Trolls. I have not seen them, but I've heard really good things.
Soup's cute.
But they definitely came out after this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this came first. They stole it. Olacia Rulin was also in Hounded, Poof Point, High School Musicals 1 through 3. She was also on the show Greek and NCIS LA. Todd Michael Schwartzman played Pete. He only had one other credit on his IMDb, and it was High School Musical.
Cool.
Okay. The synopsis is as follows.
Okay.
Marnie organizes a student exchange program between her mortal school and the Halloweentown High. The first students to participate in this program are a witch, a warlock, a troll, and an ogre. That's the entire synopsis.
Yep. Wait, what? I was like, yeah, that's right.
And they said, we need to name all these creatures specifically.
Wow. I mean, they're not wrong, but they're not right.
Oh, that's funny.
Crazy.
Anyway, fun facts real quick.
Okay.
I already said one of them. It was Emily Roeske's last film and Lucas Grabeel's first film. The other one is that I didn't know this, actually. Maybe you did, Al or Sam, but Halloweentown 2 got criticized for being too dark. So they tried to make this one like funnier and sillier because the 2 got so much criticism for being too dark.
Wow. 2 is pretty dark, but I wouldn't have like written Disney Channel a mean letter over.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. Parents are annoying.
I have a fun fact too, Val.
Yeah, what is it?
The high school that this was shot at in Utah was also the high school that Luck of the Irish was shot at.
Oh, cool. That makes sense because that was also filmed in Utah.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I wrote down was that I wondered if this, because she has the leprechauns driving the car, and I was like, does this exist in the same cinematic universe as the Luck of the Irish?
Honestly,
it does.
It does.
Wow. Okay. The business is done.
Woo! Thanks for doing your business, Val.
Thank you for allowing me to.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, I want to ask you what your first impressions were, but first I would love to know, have you seen this movie before? And do you have any kind of special connection to this movie or special memory of this movie?
I don't think I had ever seen this movie before, because when I put it on, I thought that this was the movie that they recast Kimberly J. Brown in. And when I started watching, I was like, oh, she's still in this one. So I don't think I ever saw this. Also, I was very, very scared of things as a child. I hated Halloween. I was very scared of just general Disney movies. Like everything scared me. So I was never able to watch like Halloweentown 1, 2, or this one because I was just too scared. So I honestly had no recollection of ever having seen this movie before.
Wow.
So Sam would have been the kid writing Disney Channel saying Halloweentown 2 was too scary.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, given that this was your first watch, what did you think?
You know, I found this to be, well, the first thing that I kept thinking was, is this a backdoor pilot for High School Musical? Because as soon as Lucas Grabeel showed up, I was like, oh my God, it's him. And then Kelsey also being in it. And then there was like something that they said about like being an actor or being in like a play or something like that. And I was like, and this came out 2 years before High School Musical. So then I was like, was he already cast in High School Musical when they made this? And they were sort of setting that up? Or was it just that they were all like theater kids and that's just how it was? So I was thinking a lot about that. I also found this to be, I don't know if I can say this. I found it to be a particularly corny decom. Like they were,
you can say it.
There was
okay.
like a lot. There was a lot happening. Like normally, I feel like they really try to keep it, you know, non-steamy, but there was a lot happening. The grandma, Marnie, Dylan, the mom, like there was a lot going on in that regard. But overall, I did enjoy it. I just like, you don't really spend any time in Halloweentown in this one. And I feel like it's fun to see them be kind of like fish out of water, but I miss being in actual Halloweentown.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a correct statement for it being titled Halloweentown High.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Al, what about you?
Thanks, Val. I started tuning out of this movie. It's not bad. My favorite part of this movie is Kimberly J. Brown's facial expressions.
Yeah. Oh,
she holds this movie together with her reactions. And I think that's what really kept me in it. To Sam's point, very silly. It's called Halloweentown High, and we're like barely in Halloweentown. But I thought it was fine. I think it's on par with the other ones. Obviously, I think one is going to take the cake either way because of nostalgia's sake. And just it really encapsulates the world of Halloweentown. Yeah, it was fine. I'm going to give this one a 5.5. I would watch it again. I probably won't, but I would. But I'd probably tune out at all the same parts. And it was pretty sexy. There's some sexy scenes in this. There's a lot of flirting. I also don't think I had ever seen it. So that was fine. I don't know that I remember seeing 1 and 2. I remember 4 coming out and all of us freaking out. And so this one, I think, kind of just like slid under the radar. I don't know. Val, what are your first impressions?
Thanks, Al. I think I don't like Dan Berenson's movies.
Okay. I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah. Like, it's sort of to what Sam, I think you were talking about, is like, it's a very chaotic movie. And it is very possible to write an ensemble movie and still give everyone their moments. And I just don't feel like this does any single person in this movie justice at all. I think it has each person playing the same, like if it were like keys on a piano, like every person is just playing the same key over and over and over again. And it's just kind of boring. Like I also started tuning out and like playing with my phone, and just I wasn't invested at all. And I was invested in both 1 and 2. 2 is dark, but it's also like at least interesting. Like you're very nervous for the fate, of what's going to happen. Like there are stakes. There's no stakes in this movie at all. So I didn't love it. I appreciated the return to Halloweentown, like this universe. Like I appreciated getting to see Kimberly J. Brown do her facial expressions. I appreciated getting to see Debbie Reynolds just enjoy being in a stupid TV movie. She loves doing these. You can just tell.
Yeah.
And the one person who got like a hair more character development was the mom, which I also appreciated, because my complaint in the last 2 movies was that she is super one-dimensional and they don't really give her anything to do except hate magic. And in this movie, she even at one point says, why do I hate magic again? It's like this very meta moment. Yeah. So I was middling about it. I don't think I had seen it. I was already a senior in high school at this point.
Dang.
So I probably didn't, but if I did, I didn't remember it. But
I don't remember it playing.
Yeah, I don't either.
I remember seeing so many other movies, and you know what? Maybe it came out and then they would just play 1 and 2, and then this one would come on at like midnight.
Right, probably something like that. Finn Whitrock is cute. He doesn't have anything to do in this movie.
He's cute.
He just exists to be cute in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Yep, that's it for me. Sam, did you have any favorite quotes or moments?
I absolutely did. Okay, the first one is, again, with the sort of steaminess of it. They're talking about the boogeyman at one point, and one of them says, so there really is a boogeyman? And Dylan says, and apparently he's got a thing for mom. And she's like, okay, I went on 1 date with him. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really, really special. And then I also loved when Grandma Aggie is teaching like history, and she was like, oh, the Renaissance has so many fond memories. And so there's all these things that they're saying where they're kind of implying that she's been alive for hundreds and hundreds of years, which I thought was fun, but also I kind of got off on like a thought tangent of like, I have so many questions about like how they're aging. And is that just her because like, is the mom also aging in that? Like, I had a lot of questions about that. It was a thought-provoking quote.
They did actually explain it in the first one, or maybe it was the second. It was one of the first two. Time moves differently in Halloweentown. I think it was the first one because they were very concerned about being trapped in Halloweentown. So like if they had been trapped there, like they would have, like one day for them could have been like 100 years on Earth.
Wow. Val with the memories. I'd be like, yeah, Sam, I wish I knew too.
And just the entire concept of the alligator bag and the visual effect of its like chunky little legs, I really enjoyed. And then at the very end, when the skeleton gets big, I was like, this skeleton walked so the 15-foot skeleton from Home Depot could run. Like they must have taken it straight from this movie.
They copied it.
Mm-hmm.
So much copycatting of this movie, apparently.
That's so funny.
Al, what about you?
Thanks, Val. I really liked. I quoted this wrong, but I was like, I'm not going back. So I wrote it down for how I remembered it. But Dylan and Marnie are talking in the kitchen, and they're talking about being perfect. And Marnie goes, "Some of us can't be as perfect as your perfect attendance record." And she said it so funny with this face. It was like, perfect attendance record. I broke. And so then I wrote literally all of KJV's facial expressions are immaculate. One of the troll, the poppy troll, kept saying, everyone keeps saying, what's up? What's up where? Because they don't get like teen slang. And then there's a llama somewhere. So I think KJB goes, llama? What llama? And it reminded me of Ember's New Groove, where she goes, what? A llama? He's supposed to be dead. Loved that. Oh, Sam, I wrote this down. The part where it reminds you of High School Musical is Lucas Grabeel literally does a play in this movie. So it literally looks like High School Musical.
Yes.
It was so funny. That was one of my favorite parts too. They go to the mall or they go shopping or something. It looks exactly like the scene when Lizzie McGuire is looking for a bra. I guarantee they used the same set for that. When Dylan was like flirting with the troll and he's like, you're a big, big furry troll, because she like took her mask off. And I just thought that was so silly. And then Dylan tries to take off his mask because all the Halloweentown kids are taking off their mask. And he goes, I'm just going through an awkward stage. This is all there is. And you hear him whisper, I'm sorry. I really liked that for Dylan. Yeah, I thought it was fine. It was a fine movie. Mm-hmm. There's one part that maybe when we go through the synopsis, I will maybe bring up that I didn't understand that maybe you guys understood a little bit more. Okay. So we'll bring that up. Val, any favorite quotes or moments?
Yes. So yes. I actually wrote the beginning part of the boogeyman quote, which is the mom goes, it's like the boogeyman. And then grandma goes, oh, he's back in town. He's been asking about you.
Yes.
Oh, man. I swear, Debbie Reynolds is having just the absolute ball of her life in these movies. You can tell. Ugh. When Finn tries to ask out Marnie the first time and she just walks away from him and he goes, yep, that was worth 3 hours in front of the bathroom mirror. Then at one point Aggie goes, Columbus didn't discover America. He couldn't find his socks, let alone a continent. I wrote down Lucas Grabeel's character saying, I always wanted to be in a play.
Yes.
Because, I'm
really interested to see who the pullover is from Halloweentown High to High School Musical. Like what producer, director, casting person, where are they pulling Lucas and Alessia from?
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll find out when we get to 2007.
Yeah. This one's a more serious, not serious, but you know what I mean. How do you know if someone truly cares about you if you don't show them who you truly are?
Val always hitting us in the hearts.
That was like actually kind of beautiful. Like,
right?
That part of the movie, I was like, okay, wait.
I know. I mean, these movies at their core are like all about, acceptance and like, people being like finding commonalities across their differences and all of that, which is like a lovely thing. I think they just some of them more than others get caught up in like the alligator handbags and stuff than the others. I think that is it. My favorite moment is
just kidding, say it.
So first of all, for some unknown, unexplainable reason, they let Aggie teach.
Yes. I was going to bring this up, Sam, when you had mentioned it, and I was like, I shouldn't interrupt, but I have no problem interrupting Val.
Yeah.
I do it all the time. What the hell?
It's the weirdest. It doesn't make any sense. And she's just showing up in different classes. Like, what happened to the teacher that was teaching that class before?
Fired.
Like, what? It's so weird. And so at one point, I can't remember if it's in the principal's office when she's first meeting with him or if it's like her first class. But either way, someone goes, "You're from Canada, right?" And then she has this piece of paper in her hand. And it's Canada in huge letters. And she just looks at it desperately. Yes, Canada. That's the best moment in the whole movie. Oh my God. Oh, that was great.
And that made me open my mouth so wide that I yawned. I was like, ah! Oh my God.
Oh, Canada.
So Canada.
Great. Anything else we want to talk about before we head on down to Spoiler City?
I think I'm good to rip off my top, hop on my broom to Halloweentown, not the high school, keeping my top on by high schools.
No, I want to take off my human suit.
Val's a naked monster.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Sam, rumor has it you were going to take us through Spoiler City.
I am going to take us through Spoiler City and away we go. Okay, so starts out, they give us kind of like a nice little exposition recap of the first one. And Marnie's basically just bragging about how she's saved Halloweentown twice now. And she's like, they should throw me a parade. And she has this meeting with the council. And basically she has this idea for this program where she's going to bring all of these like teenage monsters from Halloweentown through the portal, which is now open, into the human world, right? Because she's trying to show that like humans can be more tolerant. And as a half human, half witch, she's really trying to bridge the gap between her two parts of her identity. So she has a meeting with the council and she's like, it's going to be amazing. The program's going to be great. The council kind of has some questions. And then she says, it's going to be so great that I bet the Cromwell magic that it's going to be a success. And the main guy, Edgar, is basically like, okay, sounds good. You said it, not me. Like, that was your idea. And then she comes back and she's like, oh, like, should I have done that? But then she's talking to her family. They're like, it'll be fine. At one point, the council, I think, brings up the Knights, like this kind of nebulous, spooky organization that is very anti-magic, but they're like, it's fine. The Knights are fake. So they're getting ready for the like exchange students essentially to come and stay with them. She does a spell to get the house ready. She creates this like hallway for them. And then they get to school. Grandma Aggie is bringing all of the students from Halloweentown, and they kind of come up with this cover story that they're all from Canada, which they need a couple reminders about that. And then the grandma's like, perfect. I'm just going to go talk to the principal because I'm actually going to start working here naturally because that's what you do. You just like, oh, I just want to keep an eye on these students. So they'll just give me a job as an educator. And she has this gator bag. The bag's kind of getting into hijinks. That is important later. So Marnie is showing the students around the school and she sees this guy and his back is turned and she sees his little, what she thinks is his tail, and she gives it a yank and she's like, come on and put your tail away. But embarrassing, it's not one of her students. It's Cody, her new flame. So that's how we kind of get introduced to him. So yeah, so the grandma gets set up as the science teacher. She's just generally being chaotic and never doing a good job of like keeping the magic a secret. They set up a locker as kind of like a safe common space. So I should have said this. All the kids look like normal human children because they have these like disguises. But when they go in their little common room, they can take off their disguises and actually look like werewolves and ogres and things like that. So the first day goes really well. They're giving Edgar an update. His son, Ethan, Lucas Grabeel, is in the program. So everything's like going really well on the first day. The kids are like a little bit nervous about the nights, and we're getting a lot of like kind of ominous, like the nights, do they exist? Are they still real? Kind of in the background. Then it's like either the next day or a couple of days later, and Marnie's flirting with Cody, and the grandma's like, get over here, look at this. And somebody drew a giant iron dagger on the front walkway of the school, which is kind of the knight's symbol. So they get really nervous. They're like, what's happening? And Aggie's like, this is kind of off brand for the Knights. Like, this isn't really their style, but okay. So then they wash it away and they're like, okay, we just kind of have to keep this on the down low. We don't want anyone to panic. Grandma Aggie gets switched to history, which she's continually getting switched into new roles because that's how teaching endorsements work. If you can teach history, you can also teach science, PE, really just like whatever you feel like. Cody is just like obsessed with Marnie. He's asking her out. He's always trying to chat with her. They're always flirting.
There's a tiny bit of undertone of like, is Cody the bad guy?
Yes.
Like, they're definitely setting it up where you're supposed to think maybe he is.
Because he's just like always present too. And there's a couple times where he kind of gives these looks to the side where you're like, ooh, is he kind of thinking about his little plots?
And he's always there.
He's always there. He like sees the locker.
He is present. If there's one thing about Cody, it is that he is present. Okay, so Marnie is like looking around for all the students. She can't find them, and they're all hiding away in the lounge because they're just like so nervous and they don't really know how to interact with the humans. And Marnie's like, you guys need to join. You need to be involved. And so she's like, okay, werewolf, you should be playing football. And she kind of tries to set them all up with little extracurriculars that kind of tailored to their interests. And then there's a beautiful montage of like everyone just crushing it. She goes to the football game. They go to the theater to see them like getting ready for the play. Like it's all great. It's going amazing. All the while the grandma is flirting with the principal. Okay. And Dylan is flirting with Natalie the troll. Okay. So there's like a lot of flirting happening, romance in the air. Then she decides that she's going to take the kids to the mall. You know, what is, classic like foreign exchange student, like whether it's a foreign exchange student from like another country or from Halloweentown, the mall is just like the perfect place to take them. But Cody, embarrassing, thought that it was date time. So he showed up, which it felt kind of wild to me that they wouldn't have agreed on like a time to go out.
They just said Saturday.
They just said Saturday.
Both guessing.
Yeah. And then when he showed up, she's like, why are you here? Like, that wasn't her first thought of like, it is Saturday and we technically didn't agree on a time.
I don't know.
So he sort of arrives and she's like, no, we're not going on a date yet. We're going to the mall. And he's like, okay, no worries. They go to the mall. He then shows up at the mall, which is giving very much stalker.
Yep. I don't care how cute he is. That was weird.
Yeah. And at that point, I feel like you're like, okay, it's got to be him because he's showing up there. And there's kind of not really like a good justification for it with him not being evil, you know? Like they're definitely trying to trick you into thinking that he's evil when he, spoiler alert, is not. But then when you go back and you're like, but then why was he doing that?
Right.
It doesn't really check out.
No.
So they're at the mall. The kids are like running off. There's a little mall trying on clothes montage. They go mini golfing. It's cute. But then they see a Halloween display and they're all it's like really sobering. Like they're all standing in front of the display and they're like, this is very offensive. Like they are sort of making a mockery of our culture and they get very upset. And some football players walk by and they're like, Halloween's for freaks. And Ethan gets very upset and they start getting physical. So then Chester, the ogre, suddenly is an ogre again and is like, hey, get off of them, and like flings one of the football players. And suddenly there's like some purple smoke. And all of a sudden they're back to their like normal non-disguised selves. And then everybody at the mall is freaking out because they're like monsters. And that is very upsetting to them. And then they find the dagger in like a pumpkin or something like nearby. In this moment, Dylan is shocked to find that Natalie is a troll, which felt so crazy to me.
I'm glad you brought this up. This bothered me more than anything in this entire movie. Like,
yes,
he's literally living with her. How does he not know that she is a pink fuzzy troll? Like, that's bonkers. And even if he was surprised to see her like that, his reaction is like he's never seen anyone from Halloweentown before.
Yes.
Like, what is he doing? He says like, you're pink and fuzzy. What? Like, it's the meanest reaction from someone who should not have reacted that way at all.
And he's one to talk.
I know. He's a weird looking kid.
He's a weird looking dude.
And of all the things that she could have been, I feel like she was still really cute.
She was so cute.
She was pink. She wasn't an ogre.
Right. And also, like, they had spent so much time together at this point. They were very close. Like, why would he even care?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, at all.
Yeah. Yeah. That part was wild. I could talk for so long about how bonkers that was. So because of this like attack that happens at the mall, the council calls Marnie again and they're really worried about their kids. And they offer her, they're basically like, okay, let's just shut down the program. You can keep your magic, like no big deal. Humans never change. And then Marnie is like, no. And she sends herself back. And the grandma is like, hey, you bet our magic without sort of letting any of us consent to it or be okay with it. And then they gave you a chance and you're like, nah, never mind.
Well, they also wanted to permanently close the portal, which would have meant that like Aggie, it would go back to the way it was in the first movie when like Aggie could only visit on Halloween every year, which is like, I get why she didn't want to do that, but she still should have probably consulted with her grandmother and mother who would also lose their powers.
Right. Like you're betting the Cromwell magic. You're not just betting like Marnie's portion of the Cromwell magic.
Exactly.
Yes. She turned the council down. The kids stay. They're like, okay, we're still going to do it. We're going to be brave. Like we're starting to like it here. So then, you know, they go back to school. But then Cassie, who's like one of the other girls in the program, that she's a witch. She is like, Marnie, come look at this. Somebody tried to break into the locker, which is like their portal into their little lounge. And so her and Marnie go to check it out. And Marnie's like, I'll come back. You stay here and kind of check it out. And then at one point she's like walking around the school and Cody pulls her into a closet, which also feels like very steamy. Mm-hmm. And at that point he says something. I forget what exactly he says, but he alludes to something and she's basically like, so it is you. You're the bad guy. You're the one who's been doing this. And he just truly, he's kind of a himbo. Like he just has no idea what's happening. He's deeply confused.
He's such a himbo.
But then she left Cassie in the little lounge and then Cassie gets like attacked and disappears. So then they're really freaked out because they're like, we lost one of the children. And Marnie's like, oh, like we got to send them back. Like it's not safe, da, 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 da. But then they kind of examine the magic and they're basically like, anyone who could get into the room had to have been from Halloweentown. So it's one of us. It's somebody from Halloweentown that's like sabotaging us. So we're going to stick it out. We know it's not the Knights. Like it's fine. Then Cody comes to Marnie's house to basically apologize. And the mom like blasts him with magic because she thinks it's like a bad guy or something. And so while they're kind of like panicking about what's happening there, Ethan is in his room and he pulls out a witch glass, which is kind of like their tablet cell phone proxy thing. And he's like, oh my God, Cassie, what are you doing here? And he then like the grandma comes into his room and he hides it. So then we kind of know, okay, he's bad. And since we know that he's the son of Edgar, the council president main guy, we're kind of like, okay, it's kind of giving that Edgar is also bad. And he runs off and goes to the school. And so while that's happening, Marnie is like, perfect. I'll run Cody home on my broom. Don't even worry about it. So there's a scene of them on the broom where Cody is passed out and he wakes up and he's on the broom with her, which I feel like he takes pretty well.
Yeah. I'd be falling off.
Yeah.
To my death.
Yeah. And she's basically like, yeah, so I'm a witch or whatever. And he's like, what? And then she basically says, like, we can answer questions later. Just enjoy being on the broom. And again, he takes that well, which I feel like it's actually abundantly fair for him to have questions in that moment. Ethan goes back to the school, links up with the principal, who is the last of the Knights. And then the dad comes. So all three of them are kind of in on it together. But Ethan's kind of having second thoughts because Cassie is his friend and he doesn't like that. So then next day they're at school. Grandma Aggie's bag, her little alligator bag that's been crawling all over the place, goes into his office, steals the ring. And they're all working on this big haunted house for the big Halloween carnival that's going to happen on, of course, perfect timing, right? When the big, did she do the program successfully or not? And the bag brings the grandma the ring and they're like, oh no, the principal is the Knight. And the grandma feels bad because she thought that it was Cody this whole time, which I thought was interesting because it was kind of like Marnie's love interest was bad in the first one, the mom's in the second one. So they're like, perfect, we'll just make it Grandma Aggie's love interest in the third one. They're making the haunted house, but they don't want it to be scary because they're like, people already don't like us and are afraid of us. So we want to show them that like the monsters actually have like depth, and that is like kind of beautiful. And then Grandma Aggie reads the principal for Bill. It again, like you can just tell that Debbie Reynolds is actually like, very talented. And she says to him, like, the people who like actually like your ancestors were actually like really awful people. And she's like, I'm pretty disappointed in you. And I'm surprised that like that ring even fits you because I like expected better of you. And it's incredibly iconic. Great moment. So the night of the carnival arrives. The humans hate the haunted house because it's not scary. And they have things like the monster tea party. And they're just sitting around eating cookies. And it's just like really sweet. And so Edgar arrives and he's like, okay, I need to create chaos. So he makes the haunted house come alive. All the humans are getting scared. Chaos kind of starts. The Grandma Aggie and Marnie are trying to help. Oh, something that I forgot to mention is that when Cassie got stuck in the witch glass, Gwen, Marnie's mom, was like, I'll go into the witch glass to look for her. And she goes into the witch glass and doesn't come out for like kind of a long time. And I kind of forgot that she was in there because it takes so much time for that piece to get resolved. So anyways, they're at the carnival. It's chaos. Marnie's trying to help. Cody's like, what are you doing? I thought you were a good witch. And she's like, I am. I'm not doing this. And the humans see that they're witches because they're shutting everything down, like trying to help. And the principal like straight up tries to Salem witch trial, like burn them at the stake, essentially. Is like, these are witches. Like, we got to get them out of here. They've been trying to hurt us. They run away. Edgar is basically like, see, I win, takes their magic. And the grandma's like, oh no, Marnie's all hurt because of the magic getting taken away from her. And then Cody and the principal kind of go over and they're like, oh my gosh, Grandma Aggie, Marnie, are you okay? And all the other people are like, they're witches. And Cody's like, this is our friend, okay? You've known her for a long time. I really care about her. And he gives this speech. And then Marnie is basically like, guys, like, we all have to be ourselves. Like, you can't, it's actually like, again, it's actually like genuinely kind of beautiful. Like, she says something basically about how, like, if you want to truly connect with people and like truly be loved, you have to be vulnerable. Like, it's actually kind of incredible. And then they reveal their true forms. The humans actually do accept them. The principal goes back on his word because he's like, wait, I actually love the grandma. And then the mom appears, which is when I was like, oh my God, I forgot she was in the witch glass this entire time. She has Cassie. And she showed everybody in Halloweentown what was happening on the witch glass while it was happening. So the council saw everything. They come to get Edgar and they make it like they take the magic back, the Cromwell magic back. And then they party at the carnival. And there's a truly bonkers moment where Natalie and Dylan, who have been flirting and having this sort of back and forth the entire movie. And she's like, you know, I liked you for who you were on the inside. And Dylan's like, you know, we have so much in common. Da, 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 da. And then they basically almost kiss, but then they're both so repulsed by each other that they decide to just be friends, which seems like the opposite of what they were trying to do the entire movie.
Mm-hmm. And then they still hold hands.
Yeah, they walk away holding hands. Very mixed messages. The grandma makes up with the principal, and Marnie and Cody fly away on her broomstick in the moonlight.
And they kiss.
Come sail away, come
and they kiss, and they do kiss.
I felt like the last 5 minutes of this movie undermined the entire rest of the movie.
Yes.
Like, why does Aggie just forgive the principal so quickly? Like, he literally tried to get them killed. And then like 2 minutes later, they're like making out, basically.
We do crazy things for love, Val.
There were a lot of things like that.
She would do anything for love.
Won't do that.
But Val won't do that.
Right, but yeah.
Yeah, and the whole Dylan thing was weird. Like, I don't know. This movie just didn't make sense. Also, the first one, the mayor is trying to take over, right? And then this one, the council president is trying to take over. It's like the same guy is the villain.
Like, what is happening with their kind of electoral system? Like, are they voting for these council members and
in
the mayor?
this essay, we will.
Oh my God.
That's so funny.
I just wrote in all caps, what the hell with Dylan and Natalie?
Yeah,
truly.
Well, that was great.
Yeah,
Thank
great
you so
job,
much,
Sam. Thank you.
Anything else we want to chit chat about before we play bingo?
Good to go.
All right, Sam, would you like to start in the top left corner?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. One hit wonder song. I didn't think so. And in fact, I don't even know if we heard the Halloweentown theme song.
Score.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah.
Because we didn't go to Halloweentown.
Yeah, it wasn't there. There was a song, Strange World by Jesse Payo.
Cool. We're counting it.
And there was a beautiful cover of Let's Get Together.
Oh, yeah,
I meant
that's
to mention
right.
that. Thank you for mentioning
forgot.
that, Sam, because Val is the biggest Parent Trap fan.
Oh,
I am huge.
big
And
Parent Trap core.
Forgot that happened. That was awesome. I love everything about that. Great, Al. You want to go next?
Yeah. Breaking the fourth wall or looking into the camera?
No.
I didn't see any.
No.
Mm-mm.
Fortunately for you, Al, anytime that she needed to like explain something or do exposition, they created a situation where she was explaining it to someone else. So she was.
I hate narrators, Sam. Hate. Which is why at the very beginning, when you opened your synopsis, I made a face because there was a narrator for like 4 seconds and then he never came back.
Oh, that's right.
He was like,
I completely forgot
in
about
a
that.
world of Halloweentown. Like, it was just made no sense.
And there's never addressed.
Never addressed.
Never addressed. Holiday themed. Yes, it was.
Woohoo! Val, put a little pumpkin on that one.
Okay.
Okay, clunky metaphor. I don't.
I don't know that we need to like go back into it, but
yes. Yes.
This is
absolutely yes.
These movies are the clunkiest of
metaphors.
The clunkiest. Parents who just don't get it.
Not this time. Mom's more on board.
Would Lucas Grabeel's dad be someone who just doesn't get it?
Oh, I'd say yeah.
Okay.
All right. Al's bringing the hard-hitting questions today, okay?
All right. Cool. Non-parent adult. Yes. Grandma Aggie.
Grandma.
As always.
Someone too famous for a TV movie.
Grandma Aggie.
I always love marking her 2 times in a row. Whenever we have
yeah.
Competition to resolve central problem. No. Because the Halloween or the like haunted house wasn't like a competition, right?
No, it was just they were just trying to connect with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A montage sequence. Many.
Yeah.
Cliche villain, I would say yeah.
Politicians.
Yeah, exactly.
Evil warlock politicians.
Clothes or items you owned?
I didn't see anything specific.
I looked all around her room, and this won't count, so we don't have to count it. But they went to a mini golf that was like a neon indoor mini golf, and we used to have one in Schaumburg, and I have gone there a bunch of times.
I almost brought that up for this moment also for the same reason. Yeah.
Okay, we're literally the same. Let's get together.
I didn't have anything specific, but the number of scarves, like that, just this, and especially like the skinny scarves. I had so many of those. And then there's a point where Cassie wears like a little knit cap, but it's like a loose knit. Like there's like, it's almost like mesh.
Yeah.
And they had that for American Girl dolls. And then it was like the ones where you could get it for your doll and you could get it for yourself. And I don't think it was like the exact same one, but I never had it, but I wanted one so badly.
I think I had one and had like sequins on it, but it wasn't like sequins.
Of course you did.
But shut up. But it wasn't like sequins.
No, I'm jealous.
But it wasn't like sequins where it's like when you think of something sequined, it was like one sequin here and then another one like 2 inches away and then another one 2 inches away. That's so funny.
The peak of fashion.
Okay, well, are we counting? Are we counting our scarves, hats, and neon golf?
I feel like we have a collective amount of like stuff that we can count.
We're counting it.
Okay, Rotten Tomatoes 40 to 60. So, Sam, have you already looked this up on Rotten Tomatoes?
I have not.
Great. Okay. So you and I will guess. Al knows the answer. If we are within 5 percentage points, we get to feel smart. And if it's within 40 to 60, you know, we'll get the square. Go ahead. What do you think?
I'm going to say 47.
Ooh, that's around where I was going to go too. I'll go for nostalgia. I'll give it a couple extra points. I'll say an even 50.
Well, the bad news is it's all bad news. You're both wrong and we don't get the point. The number is 65.
What? That is shocking.
I didn't give enough nostalgia points.
The people, they love it.
Holy
I
crap.
guess so. Wow. Yeah, that was surprising. Okay, happily ever after. Yes, of course.
Yes, until Return to Halloweentown.
Yeah, we pretend that doesn't exist
like
yet.
at this moment in time, we are all super happy for the rest of forever.
Yes.
Almost kissing.
Yes.
Like an actual almost kiss.
Right.
Like
there's
a super
legit
cute almost kiss.
Yes. And then there's also a kiss. Separate to the almost kiss. Someone who became famous. Yes, there's a number of people in this.
Oh, yeah.
That became famous. Yeah.
Betraying of one's real friends or values. Yes. Ethan betrayed Cassie in a big way.
He does.
Wow. I didn't even think about that. Your childhood crush.
Oof. I wish that I had known about Finn back then.
If we're counting it, though, I think that I did say that I had a crush on Dylan in the first one, because I did.
You did, but you don't have to still say you had a crush.
Because I definitely did not in this movie.
Right. I say we don't mark it.
Wow.
Even though Finn would 100% have been a crush.
Middle part with like the swoops of hair.
It's the Sean from
Sean from Boy Meets World.
Middle part.
Yeah. The curtains. Yeah. Obviously bad special effects or stunts. Yes.
Yeah.
Every time they took off their human suits, much of the effects.
The fairy, Sam, what are the fairies called? Sprites. So when the sprite like fell into her bodysuit and then it was just this like weird folded over clothes and then she like flutters out was so funny. And then anytime they were flying in the sky, the sparkles from when they were flying just looked like dum-dums. Like it was like a circle with just like a stick on it, but like extra sticks flying out. It's very silly.
Yeah. Some of it was actually like kind of cool looking given the fact that it was a TV movie and they probably didn't have much of a budget, but they definitely didn't have enough to cover everything they needed to do. I do want to say though that these movies always try to do a lot with practical effects and makeup and stuff like that, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Like, I think that that's really cool. And sometimes it doesn't work as well, like with the human suit thing. But like, I do like that they do that because it makes it feel more real and like fun.
Right. When the monsters were monsters, they looked incredible.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, really quick before we move on from the square, I really hated the spider marshmallow CGI.
Yes. What?
Oh,
also,
yeah.
the mom goes, who wouldn't love a spider marshmallow? And I was like,
Me.
The whole universe? Like, no one wants that.
You took something good and you actually made it worse.
Silly.
Yeah, that was bizarre. I forgot about that. All right. I think it's you, Sam.
Yeah. Disney Channel star. Yes.
Woo!
Yes, so
Billy J.
many.
Brown, but also the launch of Lucas Grabeel's career.
Yeah, it was like a passing of the torch.
Oh,
wow.
that's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Musical number.
No.
But like I say, every movie would be a little bit better with a musical number.
Mm-hmm. Magic. So much magic. And there's a little science magic too.
Yeah, because she teaches science for 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Science is the real magic.
It is.
We love that.
That's on a t-shirt, Sam. You can buy it on our D-Commentaries merch store.
That's right.
Science is the real magic. D-Commentaries. I went to D-Commentaries and all I got was this Science is the real magic shirt. I think our number one fan, Zach, has that on a mug.
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah. I have it on a shirt. Trent has it on a shirt.
I have it on a shirt. Sam, you're next.
I gotta think of something else to put it on.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff in the store.
Sam, you should get like a floppy hat.
There are bucket hats.
Science is a real magic floppy hat.
Perfect. Done. Perfect. Okay. Someone says the title of the movie. I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, they don't. They say Halloweentown, but don't say Halloweentown High.
But also because Halloweentown High doesn't exist really.
Right. At least not in the human world.
Scooby Dude.
Yep. Although Mom kind of saves the day more than
she does for sure.
More than everyone. But I still think Marnie has a lot going on in this. The heroes create the problem.
Yeah, she does because she bets her magic.
She participates in creating the problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And lead is a fish out of water. Not really the lead in this one.
Yeah.
I would say the other kids are, but not Marnie.
Right. I guess in the past, Al has been like, who is the lead? So I guess that's my question. Who is the lead?
I think in this one, she's for sure the lead. Unless, okay. Thank you for bringing this up, Val, because I am smart and I will claim it for this moment only. Does Grandma Aggie count as a lead? Because she is very much a fish out of water when she's teaching high school.
See, that's the thing. I think she is one of the leads.
I just never thought about that, but I agree. Yeah, I'm on board.
All right.
You got it. Al, do we have some magic?
Well, some magic has happened. And with this being the third Halloweentown film, we have successfully gotten 3 bingo!
Yeah! Woo! Woo!
We have one hit wonder song, cool non-parent adult, clothes or items you owned, betraying of one's real friends or values, and magic. Then we start in our B and go diagonal down. We have one hit wonder song, someone too famous for a TV movie, happily ever after, DCOM star, and lead is a fish out of water.
It is Disney Channel star.
Thank you, Disney Channel star. I still have the old one. I'm so sorry now. I will forever stare at Eric Von Detten as the top of that box. And then going down on our BING column, we have clunky metaphor, montage sequence, almost kissing. Val, what's the square?
Disney Channel star.
And the heroes create the problem.
Amazing. 3 bingos.
3 bingos. 3 bingos. 3. Oh, do you hear that? It's time for a game. Ooh, okay. This game, I'm excited for. I hope you like answering questions fast. Because this game is called, because we're in Halloweentown High, this game is called We're So High. And I'm going to ask you a question that in the question has the word high in it. And you have to give me the answer.
Okay.
It'll make sense as we start to go around. Like it's a trivia game.
Got it.
Okay.
Are we answering together or are we competing?
You are competing against one another.
Okay.
There are 7 questions.
Okay.
Now, do you have an item by you?
What do you mean?
Like any kind of item that you can easily lift?
Yes.
Okay. So in order to ring in, you're going to hold up your item and say beep, 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 beep. And whoever gets it first, I will call on you. If you get it wrong, the other person has a chance to answer. If they also get it wrong, it could go back to the first person. So someone will get it right.
Okay.
Love that.
Great. All right.
Okay. You also have to wait until I finish the question.
Okay.
Okay. Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell sing Ain't No Blank High Enough.
Beep, beep.
Val?
Mountain.
That's correct. Sam like short circuited. She forgot what the game was.
Forgot about the beep beep.
Okay. Here we go. Number 2. Okay. This is the Mile High City.
Beep beep.
Sam?
Denver.
Yeah. That was also a shout out to Sam's parents who live in Denver.
Oh,
shout out mom and dad.
Okay. Mile High Club means you canoodled on a
beep beep
beep beep
airplane.
I didn't even call on you.
Oh, sorry.
But you were first, so you get it.
She was first for sure.
Okay. This is a non-decom that premiered in theaters. Blank High.
Beep beep.
Sam?
Sky High.
That is correct.
We talked about this like 2 episodes ago.
We did. Okay. This is an activity that can be performed as an adventure sport, stunt, or sporting event. High blank.
Beep beep.
Sam?
Wire. High wire.
Incorrect. Great guess.
High jump?
Incorrect.
Can you say the things again?
I have to be, I will say it again. I'm being not descriptive because if I say a certain word, it'll give it away.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
An activity that can be performed as an adventure sport, stunt, or individual sporting event. High blank. Think high school sports.
You said high jump, right?
I did, yeah. I know. It's the only thing I can think of.
Okay, I'll give you a clue. Water.
Beep, beep.
Val?
Dive.
Yeah, there it is.
Well done.
Literally, the description of it is like diving from a high point. So I took the like second half of the description.
Yeah.
Okay. The song Because I Got High is sung by whom?
I don't know.
Beep beep. Is it Shaggy?
Incorrect.
Beep beep Afro Man.
Yeah, that's correct.
I would literally have never gotten that ever in a million years.
Okay, well,
Afro Man, if you're listening, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, our number 1 fan, Afro Man, he actually, Sam, already does have the science. It's the real magic bucket has. You're going to have to get something else. All right, we're tied going into our final question. Now, I encourage you, if you get it incorrect, to keep guessing, but I'm hopeful that someone will get it right.
Okay.
This is the highest grossing film of all time.
Beep beep.
Sam?
Is it Avatar Way of Water?
Incorrect.
Ooh.
Beep beep.
Oh. Sam?
Well, does Val get to guess first?
Val does get to guess first.
Okay.
Is it Top Gun Maverick?
Incorrect.
Beep beep Titanic?
Incorrect.
Oh. What is it?
Okay, your clue.
Is it Cocaine Bear? It's Cocaine Bear, isn't it?
Sam, okay, your clue is Sam was really close.
Beep beep, is it Avatar?
Yes. I was like, stop talking.
Oh no, only I haven't been as specific as Avatar Way of Water.
Avatar Way of Water is still like it's very close. Like Avatar Way of Water is like number 3. Number 2 is Endgame.
Oh, I didn't realize Endgame got that
makes sense.
high.
Yeah, Endgame's number 2. So I think if I remember correctly, it's Avatar, Endgame, Avatar 2 Way of Water, and then Titanic.
Okay.
So the fact that he has 3 of the highest grossing films of all time, like the top 5 is insane.
Yeah.
Wow. That was so fun. Congratulations, Sam.
So fun.
Winner, winner.
Winner, winner. You don't win a physical item, but you win our love for the rest of time. Well, Sam, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
That was so fun. Thanks for having me, guys.
Can you plug yourself on the interwebs? Where can people find you?
Oh my God.
You're going to get between 0 and 4 followers from this.
If you'd like to follow me on Instagram for micro influencing, you can follow me at smpatel531.
Amazing. Wow. Thank you. And I do have to, you're a good Instagrammer. You post the things that people want to see.
Thank you.
Wow.
It's really about the people. Yeah.
You are going to gain 1 follower from tonight.
I'm already following you.
Yeah. Long time follower. First time caller.
Amazing. Val, what are we watching next week?
We are watching Now You See It.
Written in secret by
Stu
Krieger. And I know what you're thinking, everyone. You're obsessed with Stu Krieger. And to that I say, yeah, we are. Get over it.
Mm-hmm. We will never not be, because he is a gem.
Yep.
And if you haven't already listened to it, listen to our episode where we interview him. It is great, and he is great.
And we keep saying that because it has less listens than all of our episodes. So some of you turds are skipping it.
Well, Sam, as we've already said, thank you so much. This has been so fun. Also, friends, please follow, leave a review, tell a friend. Spread the word.
Tell your mom.
We appreciate it.
She probably won't follow us, but tell her anyway.
Yeah.
Bye, Val.
I told my mom. She didn't do it. What? Al!
I always do something stupid at the end, Sam. Bye, Val.
Bye, Al. Bye, Sam.
Bye, Val and Al.
This podcast was produced by me.
And me.
And it was edited by me.
The music was composed by Michael McNally.
You can find us online at thetridentnetwork.com/dcommentaries-pod.
And you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at dcommentaries.
Dcommentaries is a part of the Trident Network. To learn more about our videos, live shows, and other podcasts, please visit thetridentnetwork.com.
Disney Channel original movies.
Damn it, Allie.